Does that sound ring a bell? Don't you all love school? What was your grad experience like? Did you finally get to wear that prom dress? Were you busy studying for post-secondary? Or are you still in high school? I spent my grad year dying in a hospital from brain surgery. How do we get through adversities in life and not only come out stronger, but with joy? Tough times can be overwhelming, but don't be scared by it. Embrace it as you become transformed by it. If you look around you, suffering is everywhere. From the small things like caterpillars morphing to butterflies, ores being refined to gold and silver, which you now wear. Here's one. The transition from childhood to adulthood. You may know of it as puberty. Now that's painful. I think I see some of you cringing right now. Tough times build character, and character produces hope. We then gain the confidence to wrestle any future obstacles. Today, I'm going to talk about how faith, family, and friends help me in this ever-changing world, and how it can help you. It certainly helped me during my cancer journey. My storms began when I was 15. In grade 10, my body started showing strange symptoms. I started getting bad headaches, I got thirsty very frequently, and I went to the bathroom a lot. But it wasn't until I started drinking over 6 liters a day, and I went to the bathroom over 200 times a day, that we knew something was wrong. We went to see doctors, but they all said that I was okay, and I had anxiety. They diagnosed me with psychosomatic disorder and anxiety. And they called me crazy. The next year in grade 11, I was diagnosed with skin cancer. And this was me going through my second surgery to remove it. They took out a chunk from my back the size of my fist. The next year in grade 12, a trip to the ER revealed a 2-centimeter brain tumor in the center of my head. Yes, and this was me in the HAU unit. And I was rushed for brain surgery. And the surgery didn't go well, and I went through seizures, a stroke, and I almost died in the HAU ICU unit. Because the cancer is misdiagnosed, the tumor destroyed many organs. I'm now half blind, have osteoporosis in my spine, take injections biweekly, rely on over 8 types of medications to keep me alive. I think you get the point. The list goes on. I was now a person with disability. So after treatment, I returned to the outside world, gleaming with hope. But the real battle has only just begun. I gained over 60 pounds within a year as a repercussion from treatment. And I took a huge hit. I was devastated. I struggled so much with my self-image and body image that I became suicidal. The slim and elegant Luke I knew and grew up with was now history. Everything I knew became obsolete. I felt like a bird of a flock who fell behind. The world didn't wait for me. It just kept on changing. Being in the hospital for so many years seemed to isolate me from the world. Now I know how Captain America felt in the Avengers. Instagram, Snapchat, what were those? I had to relearn everything all over again, from how to walk, to how to talk, to even reading social cues. Well, that was really hard. And seeing all of my friends enter universities and workplaces around the world, even marriage, I became depressed. I was way too far behind. The world moved on without me. So after chemo and radiation, my cancer was gone. My brain tumor was healed, and I was finally cancer-free. Until Thanksgiving of 2020. I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic thyroid cancer. And like my previous 2 cancers, it was also misdiagnosed and had been growing for over 10 years. We learned that all 3 cancers were present when I was still in high school and had already grown, spread to my neck regions, lungs, and possibly axillary nose and liver. I went through 2 life-threatening surgeries of 15 hours and radioactive iodine therapy. The results came this May. I was told that the treatment didn't show much effect, and my doctor told me that once cancer gets in the lungs, there is no way to treat it anymore, and that I would have chronic cancer, only to be managed throughout my whole life, never to be cured. Turns out my axillary nose and liver may contain 2 different cancers as well. The verdict was painfully clear. Cancer would be in me forever. There was no hope. Life became meaningless once again. So that's my sad story. They really should make it into a K-drama. But through it all, one thing drove me to live on, and that's actually 3 things. And these 3 principles are the foundations of community that gave me the strength and hope to live. I call them the 3 F words. And no, they're not the ones you're thinking of. Faith, family, friends. Please say it with me. Faith, family, friends. Number 1, faith. Our faith is an anchor. Even modern ships, with all its technology, need an anchor. In this ever-changing world, we need a deeply rooted foundation. For me, growing up in church was my anchor. When I had my brain biopsy, thousands of church families around the world prayed for me. Many came to visit me, bring flowers, cook food, sneak in ice cream, and some even stayed overnight to read the Bible with me by my hospital bed. In my darkest and toughest moments, I realized I wasn't alone and that I was loved more than I ever knew. My anchor grounds me so that when the storms of pain, illness, depression come, I stay strong and unmoved. For you, it may be different. Be it relationship issues, finance issues, mental health. What is your anchor that grounds you? Is it a person, code of ethics, a belief that drives you on in your hardest moments? Hold on to them. It's during the tough times in life that you grow the most. And if I were you, I'd definitely use an anchor during a storm. Number 2, family. They're the people you spend the most time with growing up. I can't express how important their support is. They're in the boat rowing with you in the storm. If I could tell you how many stories of loving sacrifices I've seen in my life, my time limit would be over. I actually recently learned that my mom sold her wedding ring so that she and my dad could move from Taiwan to Canada. My dad was a famous artist in Taiwan and was a rising star in the whole country, but he gave up his fame and fortune so that he could start a new life in Canada for me and my siblings. My parents were willing to give up everything so I could have a chance. And I wasn't even born yet. When I was recovering from my brain surgery, my brother dropped out from university for a while so he could spend more time visiting me in the hospital. Who would sacrifice for you? And how can you nurture the relationships around you who would? Who would be willing to row in the boat with you in the storm? Lastly, friends. Friendship is powerful. Friendship is magic. Friends get us to places we'd never be able to get to on our own. In fact, I wouldn't be here on stage if it weren't for my friends helping me along the way. When I went through my 2 fatal thyroid surgeries, it was during the pandemic. Unlike my brain surgery, this time I was allowed no visitors except my mom. And when the realization that I was all alone in the hospital hit me, it was too much for me. The pain stung more than the surgery itself. Then I tearfully posted this on my social media story. This was me in St. Paul's Hospital, actually a few blocks down from here. And I was on the top floor in the surgery ward saying, "Hey friends, can you all drive over 10 kilometers to downtown and stand in the freezing cold with a Get Well Luke sign? Because I'm lonely and I want to be a celebrity." 253 views, no replies. But a couple days later, I received a phone call to look down, and this is what I saw. These are my beautiful cousins and in-laws who came from all over the Lower Mainland. And they even made a Get Well Luke umbrella for me because it was actually pouring rain that day. For context of how high up I was, this is a church friend who came to see me. But as you can see, I couldn't see him. And finally, this was a high school friend I haven't seen in 9 years. And once he found out I had cancer, he video called me right away as a way to virtually visit me. So you see, these are all my friends' approaches of finding ways to see me and comfort me during my tough times. When you're alone, friends are important because they're there for you. They pull you up when you fall and encourage you when things get tough. Are there those around you that could be a friend to you? Are there those around you that you could be a friend to? Who would pick you up when you fall? I hope you see the pattern. Faith, family, and friends are the cornerstone to having a strong community. It'll make whatever you're going through so much easier. Trust me, I've been through it. Remember this. Don't be alone. Find a loving community out there. Before I end, I would like to share a wise quote from the Bible that's helped me, and I hope can help you. 2 people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Why carry the burden alone when you can share it